Hello, everyone, and welcome to our game of Esoteric Days. We are back with session 3 at this point now. Boop. Take care of that real quick. But yes, we are back with session 3. Going into this campaign, the party ended up going ahead and fighting against a group of devils that had appeared seemingly out of nowhere. They tried to escape the city until they had seen a large group of civilians that ended up going ahead and being imprisoned within a magical circle that was guarded by a group of lemures and a giant fire hellion. In their fight, they were able to defeat the hellion, which rendered the lemure inert, it seemed, as well as being able to dispel the magical circle to allow the people to escape. Afterwards, a bit of an investigation began, in which they found that the king of Taka and of the Elk Kingdom ended up making a deal that, unbeknown to him, he had broke, which had brought this upon the city. And now, here we have our party at the palace. Hello, everyone.
He was on
No.
Twitch.
It's so he does it where he gives an explanation to stream as a recap, and then he'll bring us in.
Okay, cool.
So you're going crazy is what she's saying.
Yeah, Red. Unfortunately, I was trying to upload the map literally late last night after D&D, and it was unable to, and when I tried to open the picture, it basically said the file was corrupted.
Boo. I hate it when that happens.
So yeah, I've been having fun with Incarnate trying to recreate that thing because it won't freaking basically something messed up somewhere, so now that map is just it basically had to end up getting deleted and I'm having to remake it.
It's all right. We know where we're at.
But yes, at last point you were all in the castle. Guards point with spears pointed at one man who tried to charm the king and then later leading him down into a bit of a jailing area. With that, you four know currently what is being asked of you. But what do you do?
So I believe that we had decided we were going to end last session getting back to the tavern.
Yeah, I was helping
We
with...
had discussed that it was in a little bit of disrepair, but not unlivable, and we were going to
Yeah.
hang out there and kind of go through the ropes of actually resting since we spent a day fighting fucking devils.
Yeah. And I volunteered to help with, or Seraphine volunteered to help with rebuilding where she can and helping with people, and then she was going to meet them at the tavern.
Right. Is there anybody else that is helping Sailfam with that?
Absolutely not.
I'm sure I'll
I'm just being
probably be going
honest.
around spamming mending on things for 6 hours.
Oh, okay. And Rose?
She'd probably go with Salix because him being a spotted lion running around this city, trying to mend things is going to be a nightmare for other people. So, as much as humanly possible, she's gonna try and um, be the mediator between all of this.
No,
Well,
I can't cast while in line form. I'd have to pop
Yeah.
out.
So Salix would have to move out of the spotted lion form to cast mending and everything. That being said, though, it might be good to have that mediator still until he goes out of spotted lion form. But so, they give me a, we'll just say a straight wisdom, and then add your proficiency. Nerdy, give me athletics. So wisdom
Seems about
plus
right.
3.
How do I add proficiency?
Let's think here. Proficiency right now would be +4, so that's a 25 for you.
Oh, I see.
Uh, so Selphine, you are able to help. It is taking a bit of time with some of the heavier pieces that were in the area that you're trying to help in, but you are able to help clear off some of the rubble and begin to help with putting new pieces and everything in place to begin that foundation work for the repairs and everything. Salix, you're looking around and you see these large different cracks or broken pieces that you know you could fix, and you're actually able to fix quite large areas within a fairly quick amount of time.
All right, cool. Well, in that case, I'll probably shunt out of shapeshift and start helping fix stuff.
All right, Xavier, is there anything in particular that Vagram would be doing today beyond just resting?
So he is like pretty much completely tapped as far as spell slots are concerned. So no, other than sitting in the corner of the darkest corner of the tavern he can and snickering every time Selphine fails at something. And then after he gets bored of that, he's gonna go back to his room and he's going to pull all of the zombies out of the bag, and he's going to just kind of do his best to kind of repair their clothing so they're not, completely tattered and looking disgusting. Like, he gets that they're rotting corpses, but they should be at least kept in decent shape.
They're rotting corpses, but they should at least look somewhat dignified.
Yeah, look fucking fashionable. It's like, well, I can't save your flesh, but I can get you a new vest. So yeah, he's
Fair.
gonna do what he can
Completely
to just
fair.
kind of help him out, but that'll be the rest of his day until nighttime comes.
Okay, so you all spend the day uh as you are, you snickering until you go ahead and end up helping your zombies, Vagram. Selphine and Salix helping with rebuilding the uh city, and also a little bit of mediation from time to time still, because while not a spotted lion, while Salix is casting, this is also still an all wooden warforged and was also the first one to be soulbound. So those that do know of that story would end up being kind of interested, and so there's a little bit of mediation there, and sometimes it's just back off. But you're all able to make it through the day okay and everything. And into the next day now. Y'all end up gaining the benefits of a long rest. And what shall this day bring?
So the first thing is that Vagram, he doesn't sleep. He stands in a corner with his eyes open and meditates. He is one of the rare species that can be completely conscious of his surroundings while he is taking his quote unquote rest time. So after that couple hours is over, he's going to actually pull out. Now, mind you, at this point, all the zombies are away. He understands they're smelly, so he puts all the zombies away before he goes to bed. But when he's up, while everybody else is still kind of like asleep or in their meditative state or whatever, he's gonna pull out. I forgot about this. I actually had a note in my notes. He's gonna pull out that infernal core that I yanked out of that fucking giant,
Oh,
and I'm going to perform the identify ritual on it so I don't burn a spell slot. He's also, because it's a new day, he is going to burn an animate dead to maintain control over his currently raised zombies.
alrighty. Thank you for that. So you go ahead and begin your ritual. Um, and you said you're kind of doing this while everyone else is still within a bit of their meditative states or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I actually did not think to do that because I kind of spaced the infernal core. But I can tell you what it does. I do have the notes, I just don't have a direct handout.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can take notes on it if that's fine with you.
So this is an infernal core. You can classify it as a rare magical item. As far as its effects, you know that one, it can be implanted into a construct to bind it to a plane of existence of the of your choosing, basically. And then upon speaking a command word, you will activate the core, which will cause the shift.
Okay.
Secondly, and there is no real direct effect with this, but it is worth noting that it does definitely exude uh an aura and magical presence very similar to the energy of the nine hells that it comes from.
Okay. No other activatable effects on it or anything like that, though. No, like, nothing in particular as far as that's concerned. Essentially, its only purpose is you put it in a construct, speak the command word, send it to whatever plane of existence it's going to. It is then bound there, and then it has a very infernal scent to it.
Yes. Oh, hang on. Reading my verbiage here. Okay. So when you speak the command word, it will activate the plane shift to whatever plane you had bound the core to, which will bind the construct there as well. But when you speak that command word, the creature or the construct, I mean, is essentially under the effects of a dominate monster. You control that thing still.
Can you see through its eyes then, or can you like sense it? Like, is it like, does it act
You can't.
like a beacon? Okay, so you can see around it. Okay. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay, as soon as that spell's finished, I'm gonna put that bitch right on back in the bag.
Alrighty.
That's it for me until everyone else is up.
Um, Once Estelle is awake, considering she only sleeps for 4 hours because trance,
Same.
um, she's probably just gonna walk around the city and see what else has to be repaired, and which places have the most damage. And considering it's probably ridiculously early in the morning, once she figures out those few places, she's just going to go back to the tavern and just kind of wait till everybody is awake.
Okay. Go ahead and give me investigation. You,
I'm supposed to be good at this shit.
Do it better.
you go looking around trying to find the different areas, but as you look around, everything seems like it's either just the same level of destruction or potentially progressively worse. Like you can see where repairs have been made and the start of reconstruction on some of these has been made and everything, but there's still just a lot of rubble. It's hard to really tell what would be the quote unquote worst spot.
Okay. Um, Either way, she's going to keep those places in mind when she goes back to um, their tavern, and then um, when everybody's awake and had breakfast, and she's going to talk to them about going and fixing those places, and then finding whoever this person is that these creatures are hunting for.
All right. So I'm assuming at this point everybody else would be waking up. Is there anything, uh, Bay or Candace, that Zelfine or Salix would want to do in the morning?
Well, I only need 6 hours. I don't know if that's standard or if it's 8.
It's, so officially, I want to say standard is 8
It is.
for long rest. That being said, we have someone who does not need quote unquote sleep. And we have 2 elves that only need 4 hours with a trance, so standard is very, very
Not
non-existent
standard.
here.
Ah, okay. So 6 hours is the longest rest. I don't sleep either. I just have to be like AFK.
Pretty much.
I can still see though, which is pretty neat.
Selphine would once her trance was over, she would do her regular like morning praying routine, get all her stuff together, and then um depending on who's in the room, I guess at that point, she would kind of listen to the plan for the day.
I'd probably check myself for any blemishes, make sure everything's all polished up nicely. And if there's still repairs to be done, I'd probably start with that.
All right, so you all make your way down to the tavern. Um, Rose, I would say just from kind of the investigation check, the primary places that you had seen were one within the trade district, there known as Timora Square, um, as well as a fair amount of damage within. Actually, here, hang on, let me switch over to the map real quick. Uh, okay, so as far as the map here is concerned, the most of your damage that you had seen would have been in here in Timora Square, just off over here.
You gotta drag us over to her.
Oh,
Thank you.
swear I will learn to do that correctly one of these days.
I didn't even know what it was till Xavier showed me like last week or the week before.
So the three main spots that you had seen were right in here, over in Timora Square, which is basically the primary trade district, the Gladiators Arena area of the entertainment district over here, and then off actually just in the far corner here of the Diplomats Plaza, you were able to see. From your investigation, that was the three, I would say, quote unquote, worst spots that you could find. So is today going to be another day of helping with repairs?
Is she discuss that with the rest of the party once everyone is all down and awake? See what everyone.
We're
So
down there.
when Sophine's done, she'd join everybody, and like I said, she's just kind of look around to see what the plan is, listen in.
So I think for half of the day, uh, at least for the morning half, she wants to focus on um, rebuilding those as many places as she can in those three areas. So Timora, Diplomats Plaza, and then what was the third one that you mentioned?
Just up in the far corner here, the northern corner of the Diplomats Plaza.
Diplomats, Timora, and what was the third one? Because you mentioned three.
The entertainment district here over by the Gladiator Arena.
Did I split that gold up between everyone, by the way? Did everyone add 300 gold pieces to each of their inventories? I thought
Yep.
I had mentioned that last time. Okay.
I feel like I did.
Yeah, and
I remember you mentioning that, like right there
Okay.
at the end.
Why, does somebody want to go shopping?
No, I don't got anything to buy. I was just curious. We know what happens during those sessions.
We
Do we?
certainly we certainly can help with fixing things around town, as long as everybody is on board with that.
I absolutely will not be doing that.
Is there something else you'd rather be doing?
Anything, to be honest with you. I did my days while I was alive with the physical labor. I don't do that anymore.
I'm not good at it, that's for sure.
I am very smart, but I am not strong, not like I used to be. We were given an objective by Queen Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that she was going to reach out to us once she had more information regarding the king's situation with the devils. And she said she needed us to potentially go somewhere, but we were supposed to receive word. Has anybody made contact with her?
I haven't yet, no.
It was a rough evening, I'm sure. Her and her
Yes.
husband probably. Well, honestly, I feel more bad for her husband than I do for her by a long shot. Look at him with that silly little mustache, and she's there with a full beard, like she's got a goat in a headlock. It's crazy. Big, wispy. Sorry, I've got hair on the brain.
Xavier,
Yes.
really quickly, just because I don't know if I asked you to do this before, go ahead and make me, I'll say either Arcana or History.
Oh, that's fucking easy.
This is going to be a high DC.
25.
Literally right as I was
I'm really good at like 2 things, and they happen to be
literally
archive
I'm
history.
I'm not even lying. The moment that I was saying this is gonna be a high DC, before I had even seen the number 25 was what I had set. So just barely you hit the DC, and you think about it. There are very few items, but there are some known among the world that can affect beyond just basic magical properties, but beneficial and detrimental boons almost in a sense. And then you think about the very ornate look of the axe, all of the jewels encrusted in it, and you remember an old tale that was told to you way, way back ages ago, before the event that led to your current situation, of an item known as the Axe of the Dwarvish Lords. And if there is anything close to that being reality, you think Queen Aurelia is probably wielding that axe.
That
That
axe,
axe,
though.
though.
We've been
damn
together
it.
too long. And...
Womp womp.
Oh, I swear to God, all you had to say was that axe, and it was, we got it. Okay, got it. Right, so if you would like to spend the day doing your repairs and whatnot, that is fine by me. Obviously, we are going to have quite a conundrum when it comes to hunting down whatever it is we need to hunt down to stop the demon invasion. We cannot continue to do this pussyfoot game like we did yesterday. I do not have the energy for it. I am far too old, and, well, quite frankly, people are going to start asking where the corpses are going, because I know all these high society people like to bury or burn their dead, but if the dead aren't there to be burned or buried, then people are going to start looking at me. Shit, speaking of which, one moment. And I'm gonna cast Alter Self and become the Wood Elf.
Noted.
Right, so now that that's been taken care of, Queen Aurelia. I can go speak to her if you'd like, and the rest of you, if you'd like to put in a good, long, hard day's work of manual labor, so be it. I suppose I should probably stop and pick up a couple of potions, too, just in case things get weird.
It's probably not a bad idea. I'll try to help as much as I can, but I do think as soon as we hear from her, we should move.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I guess I will head to the keep, and I'll do what I can about seeing about potions along the way. If I do cut... He stops kind of dead in his tracks and looks over at Salix, and he goes, I was capable of healing you naturally. You don't require any fancy polishes or oils or springs and sprockets to heal your form? In this form, and he kind of like addresses the automaton form.
As much as I like a good polish, no. I am mostly organic, despite being made of wood.
All right, fair enough. Well, I'll see what I can do about getting us a few potions and talk to the queen. Enjoy your work day. Fuck. Excuse me. He stands up and he walks out.
Sophie she doesn't seem like she's real excited about it either. But doing her duty dutifully, she gathers her things and kind of, okay, let's go.
Who all is going to be working on repairs?
It'll be me.
Rose, you better raise your hand. It was your idea.
I was gonna say it's gonna be the three of us because only Vagram said absolutely the fuck not.
Begrudgingly.
Okay, so Salix, I'm assuming you're going to be doing more of your mending magic.
That's it.
All right then. So Sailfiend, I need um I need athletics from you. Rose, uh if I'm trying to think, I don't think you have mending, do you? Okay. So in that case, I'll need athletics from you as well. And then uh Salix, I'll need wisdom, or if there's a way I can't remember to do uh for the spellcast ability modifier, which is basically just your wisdom plus your proficiency.
Let me see.
If not, it's fine. It's an easy calculation, just +4.
I guess that +4. Oh, that didn't actually roll it. Okay.
No. Um just because of the fact that there's no direct roll associated with mending. This is more just a how much have you been
Oh,
able to. Oh no.
Well, that's
+4 though?
+4, so that's still a 9, even with it being a nat 1. Um, I will say that you're not bad off enough that you end up, causing something to slip or anything and it destroys another piece, but you are moving it like a third of the speed that you were yesterday. Like yesterday you were just on it, knocking it out, and now it's just at an absolute crawl compared to what it was before. Much
I
smaller
hate it here.
pieces that are being mended. Estelle, you are moving fairly well. Selphine, you're doing better than yesterday. It's one of those things of okay, yesterday really sucked and I have no idea what I'm doing. And today it's like, okay, at least I have a bit of an idea. So you're able to go ahead and lift up some of the bigger pieces a little bit easier and everything. And move different pieces to go ahead and get rubble cleared out. Now, Vagram,
yes.
where are you going to first?
Well, I figured since we're in Timora Square, I should probably go ahead and look around, see if I can find an alchemist shop that's intact, or if there's an herbalist, or I don't really give a fuck who, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna start asking around for potions.
Yep. You do end up finding, actually, I believe it's on the battle map for Timora Square. Yep.
Got it.
So the Weeping Willow off to the left side here, right in the middle, that is an alchemy and herbalist shop.
Beautiful.
So
And it's still in decent repair?
it is still in decent repair. There are some cracks around it and everything.
I can't hear you, Logan.
Oh, forgot to hit the push to talk. It is still pretty good. There are some cracks around it. What you know as the Mended Sword, which is that corner of the building that you ended up crossing before you ended up narrowly dodging that Chain Devil's attack. That is actually much more worse off. You think that probably ended up getting hit with something. And probably the cracks you're seeing from the Weeping Willow are aftermath type of damage from the attack that hit the mended sword.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll just let myself in. I'll go ahead and walk in and kind of just look the place over, see who's in here, what kind of like what's going on.
So the store itself, it has that same kind of green pattern that you're seeing there on the map. Very much the what you see is what you get type of style for the flooring. Along all of the all of the walls here are different shelves, with exception to on either side of the door being a window out. Beyond that, it is lined with all sorts of different potions that are behind a sheet of glass, and then along actually the longer wall here next to the window is a why can I not think of it now? A display basically of different herbs.
Okay. So one thing he's gonna do when he walks in, and this might sound really strange, but he takes notice of the foliage kind of covering the ground, and the first thing he does before he steps foot in is he's gonna reach down and he's gonna take his shoes off. He's gonna be completely barefoot as he steps into the shop, but he's gonna hold his shoes in his left hand. Um, and then I'm going to kind of head over towards the potion cases and just I'm just gonna. You don't have to obviously tell me unless you've got a list of what's in here. I'm just looking to see kind of what he's got or what they have, I should say.
Okay. I will say give me percentile and then give me arcana afterwards.
Okay, so it's a 44 on the percentile, and the arcana is that's a nat 20, 27.
Oh,
I
fuck.
told you guys I'm good at two fucking things, history and arcana. You ask me to do anything else, I'm guaranteeing you I will fail.
Hold on, let me pull up
Guaranteeing?
the let me pull up the sheet because I actually do fucking have this.
I dig it.
There is a podcast that I listen to called The Overprepared DM for a reason.
To over prepare you?
Yes, specifically for shit like this.
Hell yeah. It's good for us to know too, because if there's just like a, a known inventory, we could always be like, yo, hey, I know we are where we are, but we got to go back to fucking Taka, hit up the Weeping Willow, because remember they had those potions that no one's gonna buy those fucking things.
Yeah.
Neither are we. We're gonna fucking steal them. All right, this is a stick up.
Okay, so of the different potions that you do end up seeing from the 44 percentile roll, you do see various potions of healing going up as high as uh let's see here, what is it? So both greater and regular potions of healing are available. There are a couple of them that you realize that are definitely higher in price, but are kind of actually nice to know that they are at least here. Uh, as far as that is concerned, there are two different potions of a resistance. One being a potion of force resistance, and one being a potion of cold resistance.
Okay.
And then one final one that really catches your eye. Take a moment to actually look at it because it's a little bit different than the others. And you realize that's because of the fact that it's not directly a potion, but an oil of sharpness.
Okay. Okay, I'll kind of flag down who is in here. Is there anybody in here, or is it just me right now?
As far as you see right now, it's just you.
You're gonna do this to me, aren't you? Okay, I'm going to. Well, I mean, hang on. Okay, hold on. Morale roll. I kid. I'm not making a morale roll.
To
So
be fair,
he's
I've done
going to.
that once or twice before, though.
What's that?
I said, to be fair, I've done a morale roll once or twice before.
Sometimes you have to when you start mixing neutrality into it, you got to figure some things out. Okay, so here's what he's gonna do. Because he's kind of ignorant to this situation, he's gonna see, is there a way to just like slide the glass to take the potions? He's assuming, by the way, this is not that he's gonna try to pocket him. He's assuming he takes what he wants and pays for it at the front, but he's gonna just look at it and see if that's how it works.
So, inspecting it, you very quickly realize, like, this is something where if you want it from the glass itself, you'll have to break the glass. This is very much like this one's gonna set up here, that way people know that I have it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, then I guess he's gonna fucking put his fist through the glass. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, you guys. I'm kidding. Jeez. He will very gently and in his wood elf form call out towards, or kind of like behind where the little desk is there. Excuse me. Is there somebody who can come and assist me up front?
The moment you let out the first "excuse me," you hear this, followed by a loud bang and a clatter of just a couple of different things across the floor before you see a small little gnomish woman's head pop around the corner. Oh, oh, hello, dearie. I'm sorry I didn't hear you. How are you?
Hello!
That's what I was thinking of too.
Fucking Mrs. Doubtfire, I love it. He kind of rests his arms, especially considering he's much shorter in this form, and glances over and he says, "I'm very sorry if I frightened you, ma'am. Are you all right? I heard some
Oh,
clattering back
oh,
there."
I'm fine. I just didn't exactly expect anybody to be really coming on through, considering the attack, even though it was yesterday. But business is still going. Hi, what can I
Well,
do for you?
well, first and foremost, of course, people are going to be coming to you specifically for all of their healing needs, madam, especially those who bravely fended off the devils. My companions and I, single-handedly, on the orders of Queen Aurelia, took care of the hell-forged creature that stood outside the gates, transforming the civilian population into lemures. And unfortunately, we've tapped our stocks, and so I came to see my favorite gnome. I'd like a few of these healing potions and maybe talk some prices.
You were one of the people that took out that big thing out front?
Yes, ma'am, I was one of a few.
Well then, dearie, let first off, two things. One, you are very generous to think that I am the one for their healing needs. No, the service district will take care of that. There are plenty of priests over there that can handle healing for that. Um, let me look at my stock real quick. Hang on. And she kind of ducks underneath the little counter there that is obviously built for more of a human-esque height, or at least maybe elven, but she still just kind of like does the little to go ahead and peek up over it every time.
This would be the best place for whack-a-mole.
Oh my god.
It's called Whack a Gnome, actually.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
And she comes back up, uh, plopping a little tray down before lifting herself back up. And you recognize them pretty quickly because of the fact that you recognize them from the case earlier. They are two potions of healing And she just looks at you and goes, I know it's not much, but at least take that on me for taking out that big thing.
Oh, madam, there's no way I can take these free. Well,
Oh, please, please, please. We can talk price on other things. I'm sure you're here for more than just healing potions.
First and foremost, thank you very much, and I'm glad that we could provide some service. And by the way, I didn't mean to insinuate that you were a woman of faith. What I meant was, for the adventuring folk like myself, you are very important in the heat of combat, because nothing patches you or your companions up like and I pick one of the healing potions up, like the delicious, syrupy liquid of the earth. We have you to thank for that. But yes, as far as... Guys, give me 1 second.
Did we rescue a family member of hers from the circle by chance?
You have no idea.
Well, no, I'm not in the room, but just,
Just one moment, everybody.
All right, I'm sorry about that. The
Okay.
guy for the bouncy house called and was like, hey, bud, can we come pick that up here in a little while? I got to get it out for Sunday." He's like, all right, come on.
did he
Okay,
sound
so
like that?
yeah, he did.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, yes, of course, we are interested in much more. I see up there you've got another couple potions, the potions of regular healing, the greater healing. I see you've got 2 potions of resistance up there, force and cold. And this oil of sharpness, I'm not familiar with that. I'd like to hear about it and maybe a price for the lot. And if you have anything special or unique, I'm very, very interested in your alchemy.
Fucking Vagram brising up
Ooh,
the gnome.
Kitty, you are a big spender, ain't you?
Well, I may be, depending on the prices.
She kind of sits there and thinks for a little bit. And I'm actually having to run a couple of numbers myself to go ahead and add things up.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Uh,
Wait, Kev, what is your charisma?
Very
Good.
low.
Sorry?
It's very low.
Gotcha.
But remember, charisma comes in 2 forms, social and physical. He is
Yeah,
literally a rotting corpse. Low charisma.
7 charisma, but it's all the ugly.
Plus- So about that oil, that one is going to be kind of pricey. The other 4, eh, normal price, just a little under 1,000 for the other 4 combined. Uh, that oil though is, I mean, even if I was to discount it to you, I would still need like 20,000 gold at least for that.
20,000 gold for an oil of sharpness. Now, with my 27 Arcana, do I know what an oil of sharpness is? Because Kevin knows, but does Vagram know?
Um, I will say based on the fact that it is a nat 20, I will say you can choose one of the three that you know, like, for sure this is what the effect is. Like, the other two, it's like you've at least heard of them.
Okay. Yeah, I'd pick the oil of sharpness because the potion of resistance is pretty self-explanatory, and
Fair enough.
I'm a little confused about the oil of sharpness just as a whole. So yeah, I'll choose that one as the one that I'm like, oh, I fucking know it. So with that being said, then he's gonna kind of lean over the counter. He's gonna go, "You mean to tell me that an alchemical coating that gives minor magical properties to a couple pieces of ammunition or a single blade for a mere hour is worth 20,000 gold pieces?"
Well, this is more than just minor magical properties, dearie. Do you not realize the power that the oil of sharpness has?
I know exactly. I actually, when I was studying in school, my doctoral thesis was on the oil of sharpness and the silver blades of the Githyankies, the ones that get shredded to make the alchemical substance itself. Yes, ma'am, I am a master of oil of sharpness. I'm just very confused. Don't get me wrong. Wonderful potion, but this is intense. I obviously cannot afford it. It's all right. Just maybe reach out to your distributor, at least as far as the ingredients are concerned, and have a conversation because, and I mean no disrespect, you're being ripped off.
That is very good to know. Thank you, dearie. Not many would have told me. Nor would have many have been so kind as you. Going ahead and pointing down towards the fact that you actually took your shoes off.
He smiles and he points up to his ears, kind of noting that he's a wood elf, and says, "There are a great many traditions of my people, of our people, that not many understand or recognize, and this is absolutely beautiful foliage in here." Now, as far as the potions of resistance and the potions of healing, so you have one potion of greater, one regular potion, and then the two resistances. Is that correct?
I do have a. So I have one more of the regular and one more of the greater uh, healing potions if you wanted them too.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have a lot of money with me. However, I would like to make purchases. So let me ask you this. What would it cost me for both of the potions of resistance, both the force and the cold? And what would it cost for two of the standard healing potions?
Hmm. She takes a minute to think on it. And you can tell she's a woman that's done this for a few years. She doesn't know all the tricks, but at least when it comes to negotiating prices on more traditional, common slash uncommon types of potions, that's more in her wheelhouse, you could tell. Um, and she's running a lot of numbers and finally looks at you. Both resistance and both of my regular potions of healing?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask this, how much you got on you?
He very quickly pulls his bag up, sets it down on the counter. He opens it. It immediately stinks like rotting meat as soon as he opens it. And he kind of looks in and he looks up at her and goes, "Sometimes the fungus, my dear, just doesn't take care of the meat. We should create a spell or an alchemical substance that cleans the inside of these damn things, huh? And then he reaches in and starts pulling fistfuls of coins out. He's going to pull out 500 coins exactly. And he's going to say, well, it looks like I have 500 pieces of gold on me. However, if that is not sufficient, I would possibly be able to part with less than what I have and come back once I have more coin. He stops and he puts a finger up. Wait a minute. And he reaches into a satchel on his side and he starts pulling. He pulls out an additional 30 coins. He says, I forgot I didn't have any room left in my bag. Here we go. 530 gold.
You know, dearie, for helping slaying that giant out there. And she kind of starts picking through the coins, sliding some off to the side.
There's definitely some that have like pieces of zombie meat on them, by the way.
Yeah, those ones are more the ones that she's sliding back off to the side. In total, as she's sliding them, you count 80 gold pieces that are slid separate. So one pile 80, one pile of 450. She looks up at you. I'll take 450. Just for the good that you did to the city.
He smiles and he says, you are an absolute treasure, and this city should be lucky to have you.
This is a one-time thing just for you, and that's at price for me.
Well, I promise you, dear. And he begins to take the zombie meat coins and put them back into his bag, kind of wipes them on his clothes. He says, I promise you that I will exclusively, as much as I can help it in the future, use this wonderful alchemy shop as my go-to for all of my potions, for my adventuring needs. And I have friends, not many, but a couple, who also have money, and I will make sure that we come here when we need to stock up.
Well, I appreciate that, dearie. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You know, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, I didn't catch yours either. I'm sorry. My name's Matilda.
Matilda, I am Vagrim Bluebone. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
And I hope to see you again, my dear. Stay healthy and be wary. There's devils about. And he's gonna take the potion vials and put them in his bag. Actually, no, he's not. He's gonna put them in the satchel he took the coins out of earlier. I don't need that meat on my healing potions. It's like putting a fucking shot of vodka in the glass into a bowl of ground beef. I don't think
Oh
he even
my god.
knows.
I'm not gonna lie. Zombie coins is now gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I'll pay you, asshole. Pay him with the zombie coins. All right. So he's gonna turn and
Oh
walk
man.
out, and then as he gets outside, he's gonna drop his shoes in front of him on the stone, and he's gonna slip them back on. And as he begins to walk towards the castle, he's gonna just hit the whole time under his breath. What a fucking embarrassment that was. Bullshit. Fuck. God, why are they so fucking chippa gnomes?
I so much love the duality with this character. It is so great.
He literally doesn't have a choice. It's either that or he gets swallowed by society.
Fair. But you make your way on through. As I was saying, unfortunately, the file got corrupted, and I was having to try and remake the map and did not have enough time. So I do apologize about that, but you do make your way over to the palace area.
Okay.
At this point, about what time, first off, would you have left the inn?
Oh God, I mean, as soon as they went to work, so like 9, 10, somewhere around there ish. A.M. By the way, not PM.
Yeah. I'm just trying to run numbers in my head real quick. So it would probably be about Let's see here, because I have to go around. So it would probably be, if you're just going at like the normal walking pace and everything, almost 30 minutes or so just to get around. But you can make your way around to the palace, so we'll call it about 10:30
Okay.
once you get there.
Okay. Realizing he does not have much time left with this alter self spell, he is going to hurriedly get into that fucking palace. Not running past guards or anything. I don't want him to think about to bomb the place, but
They there are a couple of guards that see you start to take off as you realize the time, but they also look at you and realize, oh wait, this is the one dude that was standing right beside all of our guys in there just like yesterday. He's good. And
and
that's
forgetting who he is for a moment, he just, as he's like kind of hurrying, he'll put a hand up and be like, "Morning, gentlemen."
um so you'll go on in and you see the king. He is, well, you see the queen, Queen Aurelia. She is sitting in her throne next to an empty throne. And in between these two thrones is the king, essentially held there right by her, with Aurelia holding on to a very large chain that is connected to a chest piece around the king.
Fogrim kind of standing there in shock, just kind of. Your Grace? Your Majesty? Good morning. Have I interrupted? Is the throne room now the bedroom? Or am I mistaken? Kind of glance over at the guards.
You are mistaken, thankfully.
Oh,
No, this is just to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid again, because he will not be out of my sight. And kind of slowly starts looking over towards him again, and he just, like, he realizes just how bad now that he fucked up.
well, Your Grace, I have returned at your bequest to receive our quest. I didn't want to go that far with that, but it happened, so here we are. Is there more information for us? I assume you have details about the location, or have you not found that yet? Should I go about my
We,
business?
so, we know who it was. The problem is we don't know exactly where. Because of the fact that during the attack, the individual had escaped to run off out of the city.
All right, very well. Do we know what the name of the individual was who escaped?
His name was, well, at least what we know him as, is a man named Shava. He is one of a few of the diplomats within the city. He ran off, from what we know, just a little up to the north.
Any idea from your divinationists or anybody within the magical realm who has an idea of what may be up north, where he may be located? I mean, obviously we can do the scouting, but the the north is a very expansive direction.
Yeah. As far as we know, and I will be having a mage to go ahead and try to narrow this down for you. Uh, one of three possibilities we could go ahead and eliminate one today, at least. Once my mage gets here. But he is either going to be somewhere in the Moonlight Forest, off probably in the higher area of it, so off to the northwest, a little bit more north than the Moonlight Forest, just because of distance, but Midshire is a possibility, and then also Starmire just almost directly north. Those are our three guesses, and the mage will be handling one of those today with trying to figure out his location.
And I don't believe I've had the unfortunate pleasure of making the acquaintance of Mr. Shava. What does he look like?
He is a white dragonborn individual. As far as we know, there is no magic that he possesses, but and then kind of glances back over to the king again really quickly. And as the grip just tightens on the chain, not really pulling on it or anything, but just kind of like tightens a little more.
So, does he have any distinctive features? Anything about his face, horn structure, anything that might make him stand out so that we don't accidentally nab the wrong man?
Um, as far as distinctive features, well, I mean, for one, his fashion, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, what does his fashion happen to be? Maybe he'll stand out.
Um, the easiest way I can describe it is take whatever was typically in fashion 2 years ago and then make it ostentatious.
Well, that's definitely evocative. Wonderful. Um, okay. Well,
And
I'll tell you
also,
what. Oh, yes, please.
sorry, why the fuck did the Weeping Willow lady just pop through on the voice there? But
It happens.
uh, sorry, but the other thing too of note about his fashion is that it is a little bit in the more militaristic tradition, I suppose you could call it.
Wonderful. Is Mr. Shava a spellcaster?
As far as we know, yes, but it is very mundane stuff. Nothing that we have really seen beyond maybe the first circle.
Perfect.
He is much
All right.
more of a fighter.
Easy. Well then, one final question for you, and I will leave you and your pet for the day. Your requirements for us, is this a dead or alive situation? Will you be able to bring him back if we bring him to you,
He,
or is this must be alive?
he is to be brought to Taka alive. If you wish to get information from him beforehand, making your way back, fine. But I want answers from him myself.
Wonderful. Well, Your Grace, Your Majesty, kind of bows down to the king. It has been nothing short of a pleasure to see you once again, and to be blessed with being allowed to lay my eyes on not only the most beautiful of dwarvish women, but one who wields the mighty axe of the dwarvish lords. Your Grace. And he'll turn and he'll walk out.
As you turn, you see a bit of an eye raise, not so much in like suspicion, but like respect and kind of impressed a little bit with the fact that you recognize the acts of the dwarvish lords.
So I will exit the keep, and I don't care how much time is left. I'm just gonna fucking throw away the altar self and just grumpy old man my ass back to the tavern. Just fucking stupid dwarves and gnomes, and
Oh,
why do they all need to breathe so much? And then
God, I
I'll go.
love this character so much.
I will hand my time over. Thank you.
All right. With that, actually, I think this is a good time now. Let's go ahead and take a quick 5-10 minute break and we will recontinue.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you guys in a few.
All right. See everybody just a minute. All right, guys, we are going to be taking a quick break. We will be coming back, though. Do not worry. Let me boop and get the music going. And I'll see you in just a bit.
do not hope for forgiveness. I live for a hope that I'll see you again. Now that I'm plagued with the sickness, stitching my time like a needle and thread. I know my moral's been shifted. All of my life is a means to an end. I know your image is twisted. My story's been told and I'm reading the dead. We gotta live with mistakes and decisions. I don't hate the book but the way that it's written. We're not shinobis, we're slaves to a system. They tell us a lie that we're making a difference. There is no change to the fate that we're given. I harden my heart with the stains of my vision. Spilling their blood before making them listen. I do what I must and I'm breaking tradition. Cause I've had it crimson, gone in an instance. Life is war but I deal with the symptoms. On the floor now they fell to extinction. Nothing more than to help with the mission. I've been drowning in the burdens of commitment. Hoping there's a purpose to existence. There is no returning for the victims. Now I'm just a person in the distance.
You feel all the pain I've caused, but you don't have to worry anymore. I feel the breeze of a time long gone, and I know it's difficult to close the door, but time can't go backwards. You just gotta keep on pushing on and succeed. Though you and I are fractured, it won't matter cause I've given all of me. So don't cry when I leave, I'll forever be within your heart. Though I am free, I have fallen from grace this time.
Falling from grace, I'm in a watery grave. Thought we were saved, I got no justice for all of this pain. Time passes by but it's more of the same. Left behind with no mortal remains. Let it die as we walk to the grave. In my mind like an audio tape. Given time it all falls into place. See, I'm sorry for the path that I have chosen. Raveled through the tapestry I've woven. Strange how nothing mattered in the moment. Now the ties of family are broken. Change the fact the plan is put in motion. Now they're acting angry with the postman. Now my heart to handle my emotions. Knowing that the damage is an omen. We changed but our methods are shallow. Betrayed and then sent to the gallows. Though I had a life, made the sacrifice. Seek fame, I protect in the shadows. We pray to a heavenly body. Lay down apart from mistakes in my folly. Keep safe cause I'm making them worry. Maybe next time I can say that I'm sorry.
Backwards, you just gotta keep on pushing on and succeed. Though you and I are fractured, it won't matter cause I've given all of me. So don't cry when I leave, I'll forever be within your heart. Though I am free, I have fallen from grace this time.
Even though there was blood, it was too late for regrets. In the night I was gone. What can you say to the dead? I don't mind being shunned. Now that my tears run red, guess it's all out of love. Now you're the only one left.
Feel all the pain I've caused, but you don't have to worry anymore. I feel the breeze of a time long gone, and I know it's difficult to close the door, but time can't go backwards. You just gotta keep on pushing on and succeed. Though you and I are fractured, it won't matter cause I've given all of me. So don't cry when I leave, I'll forever be within your heart. Though I am free, I have fallen from grace this time.
Yeah. I was trying to win, never tried to lose, tried to make it in to my shot and I ain't followed through. Life never been a bliss and I always end up missing. I always hesitated when I tried to move. Facts. Demons in my head say I'm being used, mentally abused and confused on what I'm supposed to do. Fakes it all around me, I'm telling you this ain't nothing new. Try to talk to the Holy Ghost, hope and peace. What I run into in despair when I'm deep in thought. I'm at the edge, if I had enough then I'm jumping off. I'm so sorry, I guess I'm lost in the juice of thought. Forget precaution, no looking both ways when I'm across. Trust that I'm always taking off, cause at this point in life ain't nobody getting my energy. Sit and wait on my fate cause I just been rolling with enemies. All they do is just run to me, try to act like they loving me. Really they all just envy me in the dirt where I'm finna be. Cause I know
I've run out of time, went and lost my mind. Just can't make this right, come and take me
others can't make this right. Come and take me. I'm hanging on the edge. I can't find a way back, way back. Oh, I'm living my regrets. I can't find a way back, way back. Everything you do, everything you say makes me wanna burn it to the ground, reignite the flame. You'll never save me. Oh, I'm hanging on the edge. And now I'm falling. I'm all in, all in, all in. Give me the answer. Falling, falling, falling. They're just a cancer. Now I can't keep holding on, holding on.
All right, everyone, we are back. Also, apologies to all of my players. I was talking the entire time and completely forgot that my mic was muted.
I was wondering. I saw you message something or type something, and I'm like, "Is he? Where are those M&Ms got you, bud?"
No, yeah, that was just me spacing the mic being muted like normal. So, nothing out of the ordinary here. Not at this point, anyways.
Just wait till tonight when you scream, and then he'll be out of it.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
your stream, that's when I'm gonna be fucked.
Where the fuck is Logan? All of a sudden, he's
Me
like,
too, probably.
"I'm in a hole, and I don't know how deep I am, but I can't get out. Help!"
No, no, what's gonna be accurate is, wait, where the fuck is Logan? Next thing you know, pops out of a little gerbil hole. Hi, I
That's
have
this
found
bitch.
oil. I have found oil. And
Oh
then you
Jesus!
and then you
And he just
follow me.
vanishes.
Oh no, I go back down, somebody follows me, and it's like a 2-mile tunnel off to the desert area somehow that I have dug my way to without anyone realizing.
That is amazing.
Oh yeah, should probably take the camera cap off, huh?
Oh, there he is.
All right. So, Vagrim, it is at this point with the conversation that you just had and everything. Let's see. We said you got there about 10:30. So, we'll say it's like 10:40, 10:45 now. Uh you did say you already just kind of dropped that whole thing and just old manning it the whole way back, basically, correct?
Oh yeah, he's grumping the whole fucking way back.
Sorry, I can't help but think of like the old man at the beginning of the movie Up, like how he was
Yeah,
originally.
yeah, like a beggar in the street. Spare a coin. Why, you're going to die anyways.
Oh man. Okay, and is there anything else that you're wanting to do with your day?
Nope. I will once we're all back. I'll do some RP with them because I want to give them some potions.
Sounds good. Uh, so yeah, you make your way back to the tavern. Everybody else goes ahead and completes their day of labor and can return whenever they would like to. If there is anything that anybody else would like to do during this time, do go ahead and say so.
It would be kind of this, the same thing. Even though I didn't get a whole lot with it last time, still be listening for any information that could be useful, even if it doesn't seem like it right now.
Okay, give me a, yeah, we'll say a perception check. This is kind of like hearing and looking for things while actively doing something else.
I got a 19
That is pretty good.
because I can actually add something to that roll.
I will say based off of that 19, a lot of the people that you are working with are very much more common folk among the city. That being said, they do hear rumors that potentially one of the diplomats was to cause for this. Who, they are not sure. They know that a lot of them ran off, and there's a lot of them pointing fingers. Oh, it might have been this guy. It might have been this guy. So there's quite a few names that you hear throughout the day. Uh, but even the locals are starting to think this had to be somebody higher up that caused this in some way beyond, the spectacle that the guards had seen and had already kind of was news beginning to spread within the city of the king and everything.
Got it.
Anything else from Estelle or Salix?
I don't think so. Yeah.
We don't know what kind of deal was made, correct?
So the extent of the deal basically was that Taka, in particular, Taka, not the Elk Kingdom, but Taka itself would not harbor someone uh in particular that was listed. Um that bit of information had not been given yet. Um but unbeknown to the king, that one of those individuals did end up residing within the city uh and end up being the reason for said attack.
Okay. Because I was just trying to figure out like whether or not we had more information from the king or Queen Aurelia as to what that deal was, other than just if they harbored this person, then uh, the creatures would basically come after him. Okay.
Now, as far as information on the pact itself goes, that is about all you know. So you all make your way back to the tavern. You see Vagram off, I would assume probably in the main area waiting for everybody else, off in like the farthest, darkest corner away from any light possible.
Absolutely. And that's not because he's dark and brooding, it's because he doesn't want people to see him like this.
Right?
But he is brooding in the dark, just to be clear. All right, so you guys do come back then?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vagram is gonna kind of perk up just a little bit, kind of rolls his eyes at the thought that he even has to pull air into his lungs now just to talk because it's fucking lame. But he's gonna say, well, I went and had a conversation with Queen Aurelia today. It appears, first and foremost, that she's made a little pet of the king. And I'm not joking about that. I wish I was. It looked like some sort of chambermaiden's dungeon of pleasure from the days of my clansmen. It was horrible, quite frankly. Terrifying. But, anyways, I got a little bit of information from her regarding what we intended on doing. So, there was a diplomat in the city by the name of Shava. He is a white dragonborn who is dressed a little bit out of date, but has made it ostentatious in nature. Also wears probably military cuts, which I would assume would be sharp angles that go diagonally and horizontally. Cannot guarantee that that is the case, but that is what she told me. She also told me he is a spellcaster, but very mundane. Like cannot perform magics above the first circle. We are to capture this individual alive. He is not to be brought in dead. Period. End of story. It is alive. So if you feel like running him through, please don't. This guy, essentially what she told me had happened, he's a diplomat in the city, by the way, if I did not mention it already, but what had happened is, well, everybody was scrambling during the initial attack. He fled the city quickly, took off. And there is some suspicion, I guess maybe they were trying to capture him themselves, and he took off. She told me he headed north. They are confident in that. She believes he may either be hiding out in the Moonlight Forest to the northwest, more north than west, possibly also in Midshire or Starmire. So that's really all I have as far as information. I pressed her a little bit to see if maybe she could, get one of her divinationists to give us a little bit more information. She said she was waiting on a mage, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I don't hold my breath. I don't breathe. But anyways, so
Quickly.
that is that. Yes.
One thing, because it was slight miscommunication on my end. The more north than west was in reference to Midshire to the northwest.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So it's Moonlight Forest off to the northwest. Kind of also northwest, but a little bit more north just because of the fact that it's closer is Midshire. And then now I'm already messing up my own map here. Starmire, that is much more directly north.
Understood. And Midshire and Starmire, just because I don't have a map that shows that on my end, so just so I'm clear though, those are like outlying villages or towns, and then obviously Moonlight Forest is a forest.
I am glad you said that, actually. Because while I do not have the castle,
But wait, there's more. Oh,
I do have.
shit! Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So near the middle here is Taka, which is the capital that you are within. Now, if you remember, there's the road that goes north that kind of splits off to the east and west, respectively. That would be these two roads here, and then the road that goes to the through the east there is the one that goes down to the south and curves off here from Taka.
Got it. Okay, I hope you don't mind, but I took a couple screenshots of that.
Not a problem. Here, so really quick, just to show again. So how the North Road here comes up and does this split off to the east and west, and then how the east one splits off kind of two ways here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, that's good. That makes sense. Okay. So, so then I'll address the group again and I'll say, so I don't know if we stay the night here, maybe just make a game plan for how we want to go about this. Obviously, we've already contracted, and we know that they are capable of paying, so there's no reason not to push forward with this. I don't really care as far as Midshire, Starmire, or Moonlight Forest, but Midshire is the closest, it looks like, technically. So I suppose we could probably head there, unless somebody has a way around the forest quickly. Kind of glances over at the druid.
One sec.
I'm good at finding my way through it, but I don't know how much more quickly it would be.
Well, I guess my greater point was if we needed to maybe start to pinpoint, Salix, I've seen you shift your shape into that of an animal form, but never seen you do anything that can take to the air. If you are capable of doing that, do you also gain like eagle eye perception? Can you possibly fly over the forest and or even over these towns and just see if you can identify this individual? Do some scouting for us? Obviously, we will all go together, but before we are in harm's way, it might be beneficial.
Yeah, I could certainly do that. I can turn into a giant vulture. I could even take somebody else if they're keen of perception.
Definitely not me. I am meant for groundwork. I lay the groundwork, some could say, for the rest of civilization. But that's good to note. And Selphine, you are capable, you said, of... I'm sorry, what did you say? I could find my way around?
I yes, I'm good at surviving.
Estelle's gonna look at Sailfiend. She's gonna be like, "Well, I guess we would be good in a forest." Um, that being said, forestry is one of my specialties. Um,
Oh,
so that could be a possibility.
yeah, that's
But I
wonderful.
would definitely prefer to go to Midshire just because it is an in between. If we need to go into Moonlight Forest, it's a quick there and back. Um, Starmire is a little bit further up, so I would prefer definitely having a midpoint that we can go to. Start off at Midshire first.
I'm in agreement with that. I think it's probably smart anyways to get a lay of the land near somewhere that is civilized so that if we have to retreat, we can do it quickly and we know exactly where we need to go. Okay. Oh, I got everybody something, by the way. He's gonna open his bag that he put all the potions in, and he's gonna pull out the four healing potions, and he's gonna slide one over to each person, and then he's gonna like kind of like half slide the last one out, and then scoop it back to himself, and he's gonna say thank you, and put it back.
Oh, lovely. That was very thoughtful of you.
It's just a regular potion of healing, correct?
Yep, just a potion of healing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And he says, I purchased a couple of potions of resistance from the wonderful Matilda at the Weeping Willow. Which reminds me, by the way, she's fantastic, and she has, I wouldn't say stocked shelves, but they're in decent shape. So if you are ever in need of alchemical substances, maybe give the girl some business. Don't give her the business. Go and provide her with business.
You want us to give her money?
Well, yes, in return for goods and/or services. Okay, it's been a long day. I'm sorry. I had to masquerade and talk to people in bureaucracy,
I
and
know how much you hate that.
Ugh.
Talking to people.
I would throw up if I had anything in my stomach to throw up, but I don't. Some would say I'm dead inside. Right. So we take care of whatever business we need to. We button up what we need to tonight, and would we be in agreement that tomorrow we make for Midshire, or should we? I don't believe I've been to Midshire. Is it safe to
It
travel the
is
road by night?
sorry to cut you off, but it is at this moment that you feel a sensation along the back of your head, Xavier, right just in the back of your skull here, as a small voice pops up that kind of grows at first. It's very quiet, and then it booms a little bit more as you recognize the voice of Torin. Hello, sorry if you're in the middle of business. I'm sending you, well, ascending. We have located Shava, at least his last known location, to be in Midshire, speaking with a woman named Stella. That is all we know. We do not know a last name. We know that she is a resident of Midshire, at least, so I would start by looking there.
Okay, I will respond to this, as I'm sure I'm familiar with sending. Still don't like the sensation, but we got it. Okay, so I will reply to Tora, and I will say, I'm not going to lie. I love hearing your voice, but I hate it when you do that. Thank you for the information, and we will make for Midshire as soon as we possibly can. Thank you, and if there are any... And I'm guessing that's about where the spell cuts off, because I don't really understand how it works.
All right.
So I'll look over to the group. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So I'm just going to look to the group, and after I grab the back of my head and kind of like close my eyes, just going to look up. Well, speak of the Dragonborn, excuse me, himself. I just received word from Toran that the divinationists have identified that this Shava was last seen in Midshire, speaking with a woman by the name of Stella. Don't have any more information, but I'd say that we probably want to get there as fast as possible before people start to clean things up and people start to move.
Yes, rather
I
than
I can summon a horse for myself if need be to ride. I believe Salix can probably do the same in the form of himself. I don't know. I just saw you could turn into a huge fucking lion.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Who the fuck are you?
what was that voice?
Yeah, I can turn into a bunch of things. I could technically ferry the entire party if needed.
Well, you don't tell me it requires you turning into a land whale and swallowing us. Because I've done that before and it is not pleasant.
Nothing quite so fun.
I'm yes, I agree. We should move swiftly. I can walk if we want to all jump in a whale. I feel like whales won't move very quickly on land, though.
Well, I was just kidding, but
Ah,
I'm not very good at humor.
I'm not either.
Midshire.
Here we go. She'll stand back up and gather her things and
She's just gonna look. Do we have enough rations and food? How long does it take to get to Midshire, by the way? Because I don't think we discussed that.
No, you haven't yet. So, as far as distance is concerned, uh, to get up all the way up the road and over to Midshire itself, following the road, uh, will take about a day on foot.
what about on Druid?
That's an important question.
That would depend on the speed of the druid.
Druid.
What creature we thinking, Salix?
I mean, the spotted lion is pretty good for overland. Otherwise, we can giant vulture. Or if you all want to sit in a carriage, I could turn into a giant sloth and just carry that around.
I feel like the sloth might slow us down.
You can turn into a sloth?
The giant's a relic sloth.
That seems ridiculous. It's like turning into a giant grub. Like, can you move quickly like that?
Not overly. But I can carry a lot.
I bet you sleep well. Best nap of your life.
Very good naps.
Right.
Perhaps not the sloth.
But it is possible for you to carry us and fly? Because I believe if you fly, we will be moving way faster than if we have to all be on the ground.
Yeah, I should be able to carry a fair amount of people.
I am very light.
I'm not that heavy either.
On a serious note, let's see. I can tell you what I weigh roughly, so you have an idea.
That's a good idea. I weigh 160 pounds.
Oh, apparently I'm a little bit heavier than I thought I was. In this form.
So the giant vulture has a strength of 17.
Yep. I was having to verify these myself here as well, but yeah. Strength of 17. How much was that? Xavier and Candace?
Oh, my weight? Yeah, no, he ain't carrying me. I weigh 250 pounds with all my gear.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'm at 200 with my
Yeah,
gear.
with the 17 strength, he's encumbered at 85 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with walking personally. I've done it the majority of my life.
I mean, I could always like tow, like a carriage with the spotted lion.
Yes, that is
Right.
true.
Yes, but I can also conjure animals.
But
Oh
how
yeah, I can do that
long?
as well.
But how long does that last? Because I'm guessing probably only an hour.
Yep, I forgot about the timing. Damn it.
Well, I don't think there's any need for us to waste all of our resources buying a carriage to just be toted around. I'd say we start, if it's going to take a day or so, we just follow the safest route, which would be the road. But I would like to guess that we probably leave now and maybe sleep mid-morning ish. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I can try to help us find a good place to sleep when we do as well.
Actually, I can take care of all of that. I have a ritual that I can perform called I don't know if you've ever heard of the Grand Wizard Leomind, but I have a copy of his tiny hut, if need be, and it can safely fit all of us. Nobody will be able to get in, and we won't be able to get out. But it is easy protection, regardless.
Great. She's gonna like start to head to the door.
I kind of abruptly get up. Oh, right. Onward then. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think everyone's just gonna head out and we're gonna just hoof it mid-shire.
Selphine will try to slow her pace so that everybody can keep up.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, what is your speed again?
My base is
Like,
45.
yeah, I was about to say you are footing it fast.
She'll walk backwards.
What the
Still in
fuck?
front, walking backwards.
Yeah.
Question before we run away. Um, Estelle wouldn't have noticed anybody listening in on their conversation, would she?
Make a perception check. So, not advertently listening into your conversation, you do realize some people end up overhearing a little bit and they're just like, whatever. Uh, one person, however, uh, as Xavier mentioned the name Shava, you saw end up standing up from their seat and then walking over to a bar. Based off of a 16, uh, it was a dragonborn as well, uh, younger woman, uh, but unique in the sense that the from like the upper part of the snout and everything on back was white, but the lower part and down along the underbelly appeared to be a black color.
Okay, before they leave, as soon as she notices that, she's going to very quietly walk over to this person. Because that bothers me. I'm sorry, but that bothers me way too much.
All right, you walk over and what do you do?
And Vagrim just nonchalantly goes, "We were in the middle of a conversation. That was rude as shit." And he kind of calls her out as she just abruptly gets up and walks away as we were just all talking.
Oh no, that was when our entire conversation was done.
Oh, you just said before we leave.
Like before everyone walks out the door, she's because she's noticed that person, um, but she's just gonna like she'll let you guys know. She'll just say, "Hold on, just give me 1 second," and then go over to the dragonborn.
Before we
Okay,
leave,
fair enough.
like before we leave the inn and the city.
He's still gonna go, "What the hell are you doing? We have to go."
And she's just gonna walk over to the dragonborn. Um, Man, I really wish I knew Draconic right now. What interests you so much about the diplomat?
Nothing interests me about my own father, really. And she just takes another drink of this ale from her mug.
Your father.
That is the name I heard, correct? Shava?
What do you know about him other than the obvious of him being your father?
Unfortunately, nothing that would probably help you. But, and this may already be something you know, but there is a woman in Midshire who he has been in contact with. I know this woman has connections to other people outside of the Elk Kingdom. but to who those connections are to, I do not know. And also at this point, with as close as you are, you can very much tell as she actually turns to face you after saying that this is not a discoloration or anything. This is very much white scales along the top, black scales along the bottom and underbelly.
Yeah, so she's very distinct. Other than potentially your father's clothing, is there something that could distinguish him from another that would be easy for us to tell?
Kind of thinks on it for a moment. Well, just because of the fact that most of the other civilized races do not typically end up having it, he does have a set of horns that come out along the ridges of his head here. They are not exactly great horns by any means. They are not, like a tiefling might have or something, if they let them grow that out. But they are noticeable at least.
Vagram bumps Selphine and goes, "See, she just pointed at her head. I knew she was talking about me."
What is your name? That way I can thank you properly.
My name is Progranix.
Thank you. As helpful as the information that we were given before was, it is not as helpful as the information that you've given us. And she's going to take out a couple of gold coins from her bag, and she is going to hand it to the barkeep. Her drinks are on me. And then she's going to head over to the rest of the party.
Understood.
As soon as she walks over to us, I'm gonna say, "Why were you talking about Vagram?"
I saw she was touching her head, and I'm the only person who's touched my head this entire conversation this afternoon, which means that you were definitely saying something about my head. What is there a problem with the back of my head? Is there a wart? Is there skin falling off? And he turns around and he starts rubbing at it. Can you tell if there is something wrong? I can fix it with magic.
She's just going to gently put her arm on Vagram and say, "No, the conversation was not about you." But she did very distinctly pay attention to the fact that her father's name was mentioned.
Her father's name is Vagram as well?
Shava.
Oh, you meant. Sorry, yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
good. I had a spit take and I wasn't even drinking anything. I just like
You've really got to be more clear about these things. I thought you were. My apologies.
No, that as soon as we mentioned his name, I noticed her get up. Um, and considering how very distinct she is, um, she did give us a hint about some noticeable features of her father, other than the uh, mentioning that you gave us of his clothing being ostentatious and military like. Um, he also has some horns along the ridges of his head, She mentioned it was similar to a tiefling, but not as large, not like great horns if they grow them out. So when we go to Midshire, that's also something that we can look for if there are a lot of white dragonborns in military uh, gear there.
I, for our sake, truly hope that there's not. Because I did not wake up this morning and think that I would have to commit genocide among the Dragonborn population. But if I have to do it in Queen Aurelia's name, I will. Or we can
Well,
just track the one guy down, that's fine too. But if we
a
find two of them that look alike,
we'll mention her name and see if it gives any recognition.
fair enough.
Really quickly, are you still in the inn during this conversation?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure because Pogranix, as she's sees you walking away, will look over. Now, I know you may have a bit of a hard time pronouncing this, so I do apologize. But Finch Talagir, that is the last name, should you need to for any divination.
Can you spell that, please?
I already did it. It sounds just like it's spelled just like it sounds. A-F-I-N-C-H, a Finch Palazier, P-A-L-A-Z-U-R-E. I probably
Oh,
spelled that way the fuck. Was
oh
that?
yeah.
Don't tell me that was spot on. Shut up.
Oh no, that was way wrong. So it's OPHINSHTALAJIIR.
How could
Yeah,
you get that
no.
wrong?
I'm just gonna go ahead and spell it the exact way I said it. Otherwise, I'll never fucking pronounce it the
Yeah,
same way
so I
again. So
left
now
my
it's a Finch
Womp
Palazier.
womp.
I left mine there. I wrote a Finch Pelagiar.
Wow. That's a fucking. That's a name.
Yeah. You're welcome. Dragonborn clan names.
Thank you. I appreciate the
Kimbatul,
spelling.
yeah. Kimbatul is a very easy one, trust me.
Well, we've seen it all over everything too.
True. Does she say that? Does she just says it at us?
Not so much at the group, it's very much more directed towards Estelle as kind of a final comment. But it is something that would at least be loud enough, probably all of you would have heard it. Having realized that Estelle is heading over to you all, so you're probably the adventuring party that she goes with.
All right. So, time for Midshire.
The sooner we get moving, the better.
I'm terrible with directions. It is how I ended up in the Elk Kingdom. So somebody else is going to have to lead.
I can assist or lead.
If you want to lead and I'll assist, we can do it that way.
Okay. Okay, so she'll kind of get her bearings and then point them to the road and start following it northwest out of town.
Alrighty. So the plan was to basically just go straight to Midshire and then probably like mid-morning, it sounded like, go ahead and take your rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say because moving through the night is probably going to be better for us because my assumption is that this dude is going to have to sleep at some point. So hopefully he wants to sleep somewhere cozy like Midshire. So if we move through the night, we might be able to snag him. But
Right.
we'll see what happens.
Okay. So with that, Now, I guess the next question is, are you going to follow the road the entire way?
I
Unless
don't know the lay of the land, so there is. I would follow the road, but if anybody else
yeah,
says
I was gonna say, well, like, I mean, I'll roll a survival check or whatever, but would I have any reason to deviate that I'm aware of?
Um,
Outside of
the
maybe getting there faster from this point?
there is that. You can see from that corner, it's way, way off in the distance, but it is just like solid, flat, almost kind of grassland uh around there. So you could, in theory, go across that way if you wanted to go ahead and cut some time off.
Do we want to get there faster? I can try to lead us this way, otherwise we can follow the road.
it's fine by me, as long as somebody is confident in the way that you know.
I'm confident in past excursions as evidence for being able to do it. And we've got another person helping, so okay. So I think
Yep.
maybe we'll try to cut across and just cut some of that time out since this is a little time sensitive.
Right, go ahead and roll me a survival check. Rose, is Estelle helping with this?
Yep.
All right, so roll it with advantage. Yeah, 26. No problem. So you get up to that point there. It is probably about midnight. By the time that it gets to about that mid morning that you're talking about, you're there, just barely outside of the city.
Mm. So now the question becomes: is it worth it to stay a little bit farther out in the plains and sleep? I only require 4 hours of existence.
I need to meditate for 4 hours as well.
Yeah. So most of us, I believe, are 4 hours. Salix, how long do you need to sleep again? Is it 6?
It depends on if he's a sloth or
6.
not.
Oh, you're not wrong with that form. Okay. So how do we feel about sleeping out here? Do you want to just sleep out here and then we go in probably about evening time?
How
See if we can find him.
this tiny hut, how it is it hidden or is it noticeable?
Well, it is a little bit of this, little bit of that. Essentially, it creates a dome of like a force field, essentially, that kind of shimmers around us. We can move through it. Anybody who is inside of it when I perform it, you can move in and out of it as you like, but no other creatures can pass through it outside of that. And spells cannot extend through the dome from the outside in, but can happen from the inside out. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, technically, I can make it opaque, I can make it bright pink, I can make it the exact same hue of the grass so it blends in from the top. I could make it look like a small hill, essentially, but I would, just depends on what you want to do. Or I can make it completely white or blue.
My thought was just
I could make it look like a giant rock if you want me to.
yeah, maybe whatever's gonna make it blend in more, so maybe a little hill or something, so that way it's
Like
not
camouflage it.
right, that way it's not a brand new structure that locals will notice immediately upon exiting.
Okay, fair enough. Give me 10 minutes. I'm going to trace the circle around here in the grass, and I need everybody to sit inside. Otherwise, you will not be able to pass in and or out.
She sits exactly where you pointed.
All right. I will then begin the 10-minute Leoman's Tiny Hut ritual, and I will try to get it to I want to turn the dome color as close to the color of the foliage around us, like the grass itself. So whatever hue of green that is, that's what the dome will become. And just so you guys know, we can see through it with as if it were transparent. We are essentially looking through a glass dome from the inside.
Pretty sure we're using the spell exactly as it was intended to be used right now in this moment.
I
Yup.
feel like that's yeah, this is exactly how it was supposed to be used.
I had this as Bresis, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We only used it like 1 or 2 times. But...
Yep.
Huh. This isn't a house at all.
It's more of a
Uh,
dome.
While Valgrim is doing that, she is going to spend a spell slot for primeval awareness.
Okay. Remind me really quick, just because I don't have something popped up immediately, of primeval awareness and what all it targets.
As an action, you can spell one ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile, or up to 6 miles if in favored terrain.
And do you have grasslands as a favored terrain?
Forest and mountain are her favored.
In that case, no. So, within 1 mile. God, now I gotta look. Think. Okay, so there is a couple of things that you sense within the 1 mile. Just off, because if I remember correctly, it was about here where it said you guys got to, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there, right there is about where the edge of your 1 mile goes to. Uh, and you end up just feeling the fleeting energy of one presence there that was Fey.
I don't like it.
Headed towards the Moonlight Forest. Also, while there is not a specific creature in particular, the entire area within that 1 mile down to the south of you, that is part of the Moonlight Forest, you can feel a very heavy Fey influence across the forest there. And that is what you notice.
So then once the ritual is done, she'll let everyone know about the very heavy Fey presence, I guess southwest of us within that mile, um, and more northwest of us being one singular Fey presence that's going towards the forest.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. Well, thankfully there's not a whole lot of possibility while we are inside of Leomin's tiny opaque dome, and he kind of winks at Salix. Um, eh, there is not an easy way that they can get in here. However, if everybody would like to bed down, by the way, this dome will easily house up to 9 creatures. So being that there are only 4 of us, we're very comfortable. He says, "Give me a few moments, and I will attempt to just kind of re-identify this potential situation. I have a friend from many years ago who I'm going to attempt to reach out to and see if maybe he can give us a little bit more insight as to whether or not we should be concerned in the sense that should we move where we are going or should we just remain here, if you're all right with that."
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. All right. Well, with that being said, there is a distinct possibility that if I cannot grab hold of the treads of reality correctly while I am performing this spell, I will go temporarily insane. And I don't mean to alarm anybody. I will probably become a hot, drooling mess of slack-jawed idiocy, and will not make much sense. But I promise I just need a little time to rest, and tomorrow morning I will be good as gold. Right? And I will burn a spell slot, and I will begin casting Contact Other Plane.
Yeah, the moment that you were explaining it a little more, I'm like, oh, you I know exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So I'll go ahead and make that intelligence saving throw real quick.
This is what I always do to Xavier.
And that's a 27. That's a success.
It is absolutely success. Okay, let me read over this spell again here. On a successful save,
That's a risky save too, because that's a lot of fucking psychic damage.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, that's about as risky as life transference, my friend.
No.
On a successful save, you can ask the entity.
Oh, good thing I've got Greater Restoration, I think.
I have
Yep, got that prepared.
as I say, I've also got Physician's Touch, which you might be able to use to help.
Alrighty. Just wanted to go ahead and reread the wording on that, especially with the successful save, since you're going to be getting answers. So let me ask this. What other plane are you trying to contact?
So I don't know where the entity would be, but I'll try to reach out to like the spiritual predecessors of my clan's like necromancy specialists, like, you know, the guys who they captured their spirits in bottles and then, you know, who knows, I don't know what the fuck happened to him after that, but those are the entities I'm reaching out to.
Okay, so you're looking less at like a specific plane and more the bloodline and ancestry. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so question number 1. Great ancestors. Should we be worried about the Fae that are currently located near us in the Moonlight Forest?
Yes.
Are these Fae evil?
Yes. Though not inherently.
What are these Fae?
There's there's a brief bit of pause there. Not fully clear beyond quickling.
Are these Fae touched by the infernal planes of the Nine Hells?
Touched. No.
Are these Fae influenced by the infernal planes of the Nine Hells?
For this one real quick, go ahead and make me a persuasion.
Oh, terrible. You guys want to see when I fuck it up? Ah! Hang on. No, stop it. Hang on. God damn it, I'm using knowledge from a past life and I'm going to try to wink at the ancestors. That brought me to an 8, bitch! If I could throw all those dice, I would do it, but that's terrible.
No, the funny thing is, honestly, I was primarily asking for it just to see if you were gonna get a nat 1 because I had set the DC honestly at like a 5. I was just wanting to see if it was gonna be a nat 1, so when I saw the 4, I felt so bad. But
I'm not good at talking.
Now it's an 8.
Ironic that I would call upon my ancestors to wink at my ancestors.
That's true.
It's like
No.
using guidance to talk Shadowheart out of things.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, did you say no? No? Okay.
But they have spoke.
But I'm sorry, the last part cut out. They have what? Oh, they have spoke?
Yeah, so the last one was no, but they have spoke.
Okay. And then as the ritual finishes, I will just give a... I will take a very heavy, labored breath and extend my lungs as far as I possibly can, and I will let out a very quiet, but very audible, in abyssal, thank you. And then I'll let the spell fade.
And Estelle is gonna look at him because she just knows what he said.
So his eyes kind of flicker open as the last of the smoke and arcane dribble spills out of his eyes, and he kind of wipes his face and he goes, "Well, good news and bad news. I did not go crazy. Now for the bad news. I'm not good with humor, I'm sorry. So I was able to ask my ancestors a couple of questions about this Fae situation. I asked them, should we be worried about the Fae? Yes, we should. I asked them, are these Fae evil? And they said, yes, but not innately, which means that these specific Fae creatures have been corrupted in some way, shape, or form. At least that's what I took from it. I asked, what are they? And my ancestors were not entirely sure, outside of there definitely being quicklings involved. I asked them, are they touched by the Nine Hells? Have they been touched by the Nine Hells, or they said no. And I said, have they been influenced by the Nine Hells? You guys know where my brain is going here. He said no, but they have spoke. Which tells me that although there is no influence, whatever entities are creeping around here as far as the Faefolk are concerned, they have had some conversation or some sort of contact with the Nine Hells. And since the culprit, the gentle dragonborn himself, who we are looking for, happens to be in Midshire, or at least was, I am slowly growing confident that this bastard does have something to do with this Hellion situation. Also, my great-grandfather said hello. He wanted me to tell my friends.
Tell him I said hi.
I will next time if I don't go crazy. And that's all I have, I'm sorry. That's all I bring to the table today.
It's more than we expected, honestly. I think we were just expecting to hopefully sleep and pray that the Fae don't come here. Um, but
That's
thank
true.
you.
You are welcome. Oh, you know what that reminds me? I have to do something before I go to sleep tonight, and I'm not entirely sure if you're going to be happy with this, but it does have to be done. So if you'd rather look away, that's fine by me. He's going to open the bag. He's going to pull the two corpses out that he has not animated yet. And he's that was the dwarf and the other guy that he picked up. I think it was just a human or something. But he's gonna lay their bodies out, and very like this is gonna sound kind of dark. I don't know if you've ever seen a funeral director working, not like actively working, but the professionalism and the dignity that he gives to these two corpses includes washing them, suturing the wounds that may have been the cause of their death, even going as far as like pricking his own finger to put like blush onto the cheeks and things of that. So I mean, combs their hair, buttons their shirts, puts shoes back on them, puts them very well together. And then he's going to perform his animate dead spell, and because I'm a necromancy specialist, I can target two corpses instead of one. And as he kind of finishes the incantation, this hot, like dirty, hot garbage energy spills out of his hands and into the two corpses' chests, and their eyes flicker open and they sit up. And he just starts to kind of whisper to them in Abyssal.
What is he whispering?
Do you really want to know that?
He's curious, cause magic, and considering she understands the language, she's kind of like, oh, someone else speaks the language I do. Okay, what's going on here?
So they're all kind of like sitting now up against the dome, like the barrier, and he's in the middle, and they're kind of on either side, and he's got one arm around each one of them, and he's got them pulled in, and he's very just tenderly kind of like stroking their hair, even though it's like disgusting, and they're like quickly rotting now because they're fucking zombies. And he in Abyssal, he commands one to like lean its head on his shoulder, and the other one kind of like nuzzles into his chest a little bit, and he just goes in Abyssal. He says, "I am so sorry that the world let you down in the way that they let you down. And I am sorry that I have taken your husks away from your families. But Daddy Vagrum will make one promise to you, and that is that I will always show you the utmost respect. And now that your spirits have fled this land, flown from this world, I will make sure to utilize your husks to the best of my ability, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that you do not fall again. And I will allow you to live as long as I can patch you." And then he, like, starts to, like, hum, like, a weird little orcish war tune. He does that for, like, 2 hours, by the way. It's really fucking unnerving.
How far away from her is he? And I'm
God
gonna
damn you,
ignore
Dave.
Bay for a second.
That poor man.
So, as far as space goes, the location for Liamon's tiny hut can fit 9 people comfortably. Including these 2 zombies, that currently makes 6 of you.
She's gonna try not to freak him out, but she's gonna walk over and um, put her hand on the shoulder that the zombie is not resting on. Um, and she's gonna say very quietly in Abyssal, not many would take care of the dead the way that you do.
He kind of stops humming and he looks up, and for the first time you can almost see like life in his eyes, in that there's a little bit of water that's kind of just been hanging out there. Could just be from the eyelid rot, but maybe not. And he says in Abyssal, there are not many who are called into the service of death. I was one of the lucky few. I need to ensure that those who are unfortunate enough to have had their souls taken from their bodies are treated with the same respect that somebody who is also dead is treated only because his soul still exists.
My brain just went French. This is not the time to go French. um, Death is never easy for others to understand, and the pain that others feel tends to be lost in translation.
It's easy for others to do that, especially when, as soon as the spark of life flees the body, they are nothing more than bags of meat. And while that is true of all of my friends, I believe the body requires a little bit more love and care than most do. So, thank you for noticing. I try not to make it known what I do to the general populace because it does scare many. But somebody has to do the job of taking care of the dead because the dead can no longer take care of themselves.
They were still once a person, and a person once respected.
You see him kind of like look down suddenly at the dwarf. You see the dwarf's head kind of like rise up as he's giving it mental commands, but you don't know that. And then he says, he agrees.
Thank you for taking care of our dead in a way that we do not always remember to.
You are welcome. And one day, hopefully far in the future, when you fall in battle and there is no way to resurrect you anymore, I will make sure that I treat your corpse with the same level of respect. Because let's be honest, I'm already dead, so the odds of you going before me are pretty high. He's the one I'm curious about, though, and I point across to the to Salix. He's the one that I'm curious about.
As to when he dies, or
No,
as
no, no, not to when he dies. Death is inevitable. But when he dies, what does he become? I will use him as an experiment.
only nature will tell.
Sylphine sees all the pointing and looks over at Salix and says, "They're talking about you."
Vagrim says in common his yes, I was talking. Actually, I was about to get to you, but yes, I've been kind of round robining this entire group. Salix, I was just saying that I'm excited for the day that you die, because I am curious about what your corpse becomes under the animated dead spell. It is not that I want you to die, it's just that when you die, because the odds of me outliving you are pretty high, I just want to see what happens, because I've honestly never met one of your kind before. You are literally the first Warforged I've ever encountered.
Well, I have already died, in fact.
Oh. Really?
Now you know what will
Yes.
happen.
So I succumbed to rock joint a long time ago, and made this body out of my favorite willow tree in the Druid Grove, and bound my soul to it.
Well, shit, there goes my experiment.
What did you look like before you were a tree?
I don't know. The process was very taxing. I lost a lot of my sense of self, so it's one of the things I'd like to discover.
Was your name always Salix?
No, Salix is the genus meaning willow, which is the material I'm made out of.
That is wildly insightful.
Now you can see like her eyes kind of squint behind the mask because, as a reminder, she was wearing a porcelain mask. You can see the eyes kind of squint behind her mask, like she is actually thinking and maybe even perplexed, which you don't see often.
Right, so we've got 2 dead guys and 2 beautiful ladies traveling together along the dark and twisted road to Midshire. This sounds like the start of a great adventure.
That's true.
One
No.
of many to come.
Technically, by the way, we have 4 dead guys. Actually, there are 6. I've got 2 more in the bag.
How many can that bag hold?
5. Comfortably. Or technically 6, but 2 of them have to be like halflings or gnomes or dwarves. But that's in their zombie form. If it is skeletons, I can shove a lot more in here. But I like the humanistic response of the zombie. They have flesh that allows them to do grins and teeth and face. Muscles, that's it. That's the word, muscles. Sorry, I'm not a physician. So I tend to not create skeletons as much as I can. But sometimes, if I'm in a pinch, I will create a skeleton.
How many skeletons can you fit in the bag?
Why are you asking so many questions about what I can fit in this bag?
You have a bag full of bodies. It's very interesting.
No, it's not full. It's half full.
You have a bag halfway full of bodies. It's very interesting.
Fair enough.
It's a very different take on body bag.
Yes, yes. See, the regular coroner's body bag can hold 1 body, whether it be completely assembled or not. My magic bag, on the other hand. To answer your question, though, I can fit probably 25 skeletons in here if I needed to. And if I really needed to, I could control almost all of them in 1 shot, but we'd have to be in a serious pickle for me to need to do that.
Noted.
Let's hope that it doesn't come to that. I don't think you'd want to carry that many bodies in that bag.
Oh, I'd love to carry 500 bodies in this bag, to be honest with you. If I could show the same level of respect to everybody in this bag that I do with these 2 beautiful, kind of slaps the dwarf on the cheek, runts, then I suppose I could fit 5,000 if I needed to. But I am not that strong of will. There is a limit to what I am capable of in the world of necromancy.
You said that you could fit 5 in there comfortably.
No, I said I could fit 5 in there, period. Or 6 if there are 2 of them that are halfling, dwarf, gnome, goblin. It's just a bag of holding. He kind of holds it up and shakes it. It's just a bag of holding. I can hold 500 pounds in here. It's about it. So this has been an interesting day.
Yeah.
Right, so this whole conversation started with the quickling thing, I believe. Just so everyone's aware, yes, the quicklings, I don't know anything about quicklings, that is just what I was told. My assumption is they move really fast because, quick is in the name.
Would I know anything about quicklings? Faye, anything?
Anybody that would like to can go ahead and roll. I want to say this is a nature check.
I haven't rolled in a while.
Yeah, this would not be. Holy shit! Wow! Wow! Yin and yang. Wow.
That was good, Bae. That was the same
That's my
thing.
first nat 20.
That's
Woo! And how fitting for the druid to roll
Holy
nat
hell.
20 on nature.
yeah.
On nature.
I can't even be mad about it. The answer is
Okay.
no, I don't know shit.
Yeah,
Oh no! I didn't even see the one because I saw the 23 crit pop up, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Mine's also a crit.
Oh.
Ugh.
It's just a red one.
So yeah. Selphine, you do not know what quicklings are.
They're very fast.
Estelle, you've heard of them before, but you don't know much on them. Salix, you know exactly what quicklings are.
I don't actually know what quicklings are.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull it up for you then. Just to make this nice and easy.
They're fey and they're
Yeah, they're
fast.
fey and they're fast and they're little fuckers. That's the
Fast
I
little
easiest
kind
way.
of
fey
gathered that
fuckers.
from the name, but
Yeah, it's about all you need to know about quicklings.
okay, it's just annoying and fast.
Oh, they're more than
And
annoying. They're
rude as
fucking
fuck.
vicious as shit.
Oh, so just me in bed.
Oh, God. I
Why?
started to laugh and realize what I had heard.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
you know that quicklings are tiny fey creatures. They aren't exactly difficult to take out as long as you can hit them. That being said, they are extremely fast to the point that their movement appears blurred.
Oh, fun.
What I mean by that, because you have a nat 20 and I'm looking right at the stat block, and I feel like at least 3 of these are of at least importance. A total of 120 feet for base movement speed that you would know. The
Can I summon them? What CR are they?
They are a CR1 chaotic evil tiny fae.
Ooh. I can summon them.
Attack rolls, because of blurred movement. Attack rolls against the Quickling have disadvantage unless it's incapacitated or its speed is 0. And it is fast enough that it can make 3 attacks in one turn with its dagger.
Oh, they've got knives. Okay, of course they've got knives.
It's chaotic evil. Of course they have knives.
Well, I mean, I guess.
This is a tiny little bastard that can run 120 feet across the ground going,
So, a more annoying red cap.
yes.
Okay. Red cap rogue.
And they're hard as hell to hit.
Okay, this is great. I'm glad I've got some immobilization spells, I guess.
It's
You
entirely
still-
possible we won't even encounter them.
Oh, you know we're gonna go into this forest. Come on, Candace.
Only if we have to.
No. We're hunting these fucking quicklings now.
They move almost as fast as Selphine.
I want their knives and their wings. And I want to summon one as a zombie to see how fast they move undead. Actually, I don't think I can do that. I think they're technically fey and I have to summon them.
Yeah, they are fey.
Actually, yep, it is humanoid. God damn it.
But, all right.
Yeah, actually, I can move. Yeah, I think we figured out what is 135 feet. Yeah,
Does
I can keep
restrained
going.
count as
135.
incapacitated?
No, they're two
No.
different things.
Hmm.
So
What you're
the
telling me is
idea
Entangle
with
won't really help us.
the idea between restrained and incapacitated is restrained would be like somebody that's in a submission hold or something. It's
Yeah, like
more than
Entangle.
grappling, but Yeah, like in Tangle, it would be being restrained so that they cannot move. Incapacitated is more like they just got hit with a knockout and lights
Right, so
are
fairy
out.
fire is the way to go.
If it hits, it's
mhm.
great.
I always say, when in doubt, fairy fire
Yep,
out.
I used the shit out of
Yep.
that with Bresis from start to
Fairy
finish.
Fire is a beautiful spell. That being
Oh, and they
said,
have daggers. I can use heat metal.
the one good thing is you know that they're quick as hell, but at the same time, if you can hit them, they're pretty easy to take out.
So, heat metal, big Lamel, no save. I made pure sounds with finger guns, by the way.
I expected nothing less.
All right. It is 6 o'clock right now. Are we good to go ahead and call here?
I think it's a good place, yeah.
Yeah, my brain is actually melting.
I am
Doing
glad.
coffee.
Oh, so thank you very much for coming in for the third session. Both to the players and to everybody in chat that was hanging out and lurking. Who are... Oh! You know, Nerdy, think... I think I follow this person because of the fact that you rated them. So I think we're gonna go ahead and send the love over there. JC the Trash Panda.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep. Actually, I wore her earrings for my executive retreat.
Oh, that's true.
Rose, that bot told you no.
I don't remember the raid command. It's been way too long.
And I'm gonna have to do the raid from mobile, but that is okay.
Look at that fluffy puppy.
I want to squish him. But not in like a cruel way.
I
I
was
just
gonna
want to
say,
squish the face.
wow.
I want to squish him.
Nice dog, Bay. I want to end its existence. From Rose.
He's very cuddly.
I was gonna say
Now,
he looks like a sweetie.
to be fair, that would be Ilde that does something like that, not Estelle.
Touche.
One
Hey,
sec.
you're gonna have to let me know, somebody, if it's working on stream, because I don't actually have that pulled up right now.
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it yet.
Hey, there was a problem starting the raid. Please try again in a minute.
Do you have any of us as editors on your stream?
I don't think so. Okay, weird technical difficulty thing it looks like. So we're still gonna go ahead and raid anyways. We're just gonna go ahead and copy the emotes. If you're subbed, use the first one. If you're not subbed, use the second one. And we'll just go on over to JC's anyways.
And just do it manually. Okay.
Yeah, just do manual raid. So everybody go on over to, I'll type it in chat here. It's JC the Trash Panda. Go to that link. Make sure you have our raid message copied, and we will see you all over there in just a little bit.
Yeah, and we'll see you at 7.
Yeah, I'll see you
in the morning.
guys here in about 55 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna open your streams and then I'm gonna go to bed.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks
Yes,
for
please go
thanks for
sleep.
everything. We do appreciate it again, by the way, Logan.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I'll see y'all next time.